Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I've accumulated quite a few books over the past couple months and I just wanted to tell you about them, so here we are. That's what we're doing. I've divided them into two stacks that I'm going to talk about. Ones that I got for my birthday, which was a while ago now, but I just never talked about them. And then ones that I've bought myself. So we're going to start with the books that I got for my birthday, since those are the ones I've been holding on to for a while now. So the first one I have is The Pisces by Melissa Broder. And I've heard that this is a weird one because it is about a girl who falls in love with a fish. I honestly don't know too much about the plot other than that this girl breaks up with her boyfriend and it's kind of sucks, and she ends up on the beach maybe one night. And she meets this fish man. Fish? Just a fish? I don't know. We'll find out when we read it. I love surrealism and weird stories like this, so I'm super excited to get into this one, and the cover is gorgeous, so that's a plus too. Next, I have Bunny by Mona Awad, and this is about a girl who finds herself in the middle of a college sorority that is also a cult. And they're doing some sketchy stuff. I mean, let me tell you, I don't know what those things are because I have not read it. So I can't wait to see what's in store for me when I get started on this one. I've also heard that this is sort of a super weird book that's not for everybody, so my hopes are high because I tend to love stories like that. This next one is Inside Out and Back Again, and this is actually a book that I've read before and loved dearly. This story follows a little girl who is, I believe, a Vietnamese immigrant, and she is traveling to America with her family, and she is really experiencing all the culture shock that comes with sort of upending and leaving your life. This book is told in little vignettes and prose, and it is really gorgeous and really a touching story. It's a middle grade, but it is very impactful, so if it sounds interesting, I would highly recommend that you check this out. I absolutely love this book, and I'm so excited to own a copy now. Next up, I have The Hazelwood, and this has been popular for a couple years now. I think the sequel was just released maybe last year, I'm not sure. This is a YA fantasy following our main character, a teenage girl who ends up moving with her mom to live with her grandma, and she lives on the edge of the Hazelwood, which is sort of this magical, dark, enchanted forest, and her mother goes missing, and she's gonna find her mom, and I'm sure she goes on a super great, fantastical adventure. As you know, I'm not a huge fantasy reader, but something about this one is just making me feel like I'm gonna like it. So maybe I'll do a reading vlog or a video or something that includes this so we can explore it together. This next book I have is definitely not a new release. It's been around for a while, but I have always wanted to read it, so now I own it and I have no excuse not to, and that is The Shape of Water. I feel like most people know what this is about because of the movie that came out a couple years ago. It was very popular. Just in case you don't, our main character is sort of struggling. I think she's deaf and her life is just not where she wants it to be at, and she works at this place where there is this amphibious man, and she's never supposed to see him, but one day she does, and she forms a really intimate friendship or relationship maybe with this man, and that's all I really know about it. I've tried to sort of stay away from any big summary or in-depth plot discussions because I really prefer to read contemporaries. I'm not even sure if that's what you would call this. I don't know what genre this fits into, but I tend to try to stay away from knowing anything about it when I go into it because that usually makes my reading experience a little bit better. So that is that one. Okay. This next book is possibly the most exciting book that I have received. It was a gift. I was going to say purchased. Anyway, I am so excited for this, and it is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. If you've watched more of my videos, you know that Never Let Me Go by the same author is my favorite book of all time. I don't think anything will ever top it, and a couple of his other books are really great too that I've read. So, okay. Clara and the Sun. We are following Clara. Clara is an AI. She's an artificial friend in this futuristic world, and she really wants a human to pick her to be their artificial friend. And I think it's a look at love and the meaning of life and technology and the way that all of those things intersect. And I just love every single thing that this man writes. And I'm probably going to start reading it as soon as I finish this video because it's gorgeous. It's perfect. It's wonderful. I don't actually know if those things are true, but I hope they all are. So, okay, let's move on. Next, I have House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland, and this is another YA fantasy. I know, who am I? I don't know. We are following 3 sisters who go missing as children, and now, years later, one of the sisters has gone missing again. No one really knows where they went when they went missing, but they came back changed, and now they think there might sort of be a repeat of the past going on. I've heard some mixed things about this, and it makes me sort of nervous, but I love that dark fairy tale atmosphere, so I think there are good things in store with this one. This next one is another one that is pretty popular here on BookTube, and it has been for a while, and that's The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This book is set at a murder mystery party, I think, like, you know those dinners where people go and then there's like a murder and they like figure out what happened, but there's an actual murder that happens, and our main character keeps waking up in different bodies until they figure out who killed who, if that makes sense. I think this book is really hard to describe, and I haven't even read it, but even people who have read it have a hard time giving a plot synopsis, so I'm just going to leave it at that. This is a big book, so I'm a little intimidated, but I think it's very promising and kind of appeals to my taste, so I will hopefully start this very soon, although I have no plans to read it at the moment. We're almost done with the birthday books. I only have 2 left. This one, Disappearing Earth by Julia Phillips. Yes, Julia Phillips, that's right, okay. Is set in Russia, and 2 little girls go missing. And that's all I know, and that's all I want to know. This cover is gorgeous, by the way. And I actually think this was either Goodreads finalist or like the winner of the mystery thriller category a couple years ago. So I'm hoping that holds up. And the last one I got for my birthday was Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. This is the same author that wrote Girl on the Train. The Girl on the Train, what is it called? Yes, The Girl on the Train. I liked The Girl on the Train. I thought it was an interesting thriller, but kind of tropey. And I think this one is a little bit more unique. I think this one has like small town, isolated vibes. And there are, I believe, 2 different occurrences where women are found dead at the bottom of like some cliffs in the water, and there's a lot of speculation that it's been suicide, but the different perspectives in here of the different main characters don't necessarily believe that's true, and they're just trying to figure out what happens, and I think it's gonna be great. Okay, now we're gonna get on to the books that I bought myself. I can't afford to buy books full price, so these are all used or thrifted or book outlet books. So just a disclaimer that they're not all gonna look like they're in perfect condition because they're not, they're used. The first 2 I have to talk about go together. They are either a duology or companion novels, I'm not really sure. But they were on sale and gorgeous, so I obviously had to buy them. They are a middle grade fantasy series, and that is Furthermore and Witchwood by Tahereh Mafi. I don't know a whole lot about these other than that they're middle grade fantasy, and the covers are gorgeous and stunning, and even if I don't like the books, the covers are worth it alone because they're gorgeous, although I do hope that I like the books. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about these 2 because I really don't know. I don't know anything else. Next, I have You Must Not Miss by Katrina Leno, and this is a story about a girl who I think her parents have just gone through a divorce, or maybe one of her parents has died, I'm not really sure, but she starts writing about this fantasy world where everything in her life is perfect, and then this fantasy world called Near actually comes into existence. It sounds great. I love the cover. You're gonna notice that as a common theme, that I love all the covers of the books I buy. Horrid by Katrina Leno was great, so I have high hopes for this one. Next, this is possibly my most exciting purchase for myself, and that is The End of Her by Shari Lapena. Shari Lapena is my favorite thriller author. I think she is fantastic, and her books never read the same, even though she publishes, I think, almost every year. This is the only one that I haven't read, and I am so excited to get into it. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what the plot of this is. I don't need to know the plot to know that I want Sherry Lapina's books. I think this one came out in 2019 maybe, and it looks like we are following a family, and this woman from the husband's past shows up and is claiming that the death of his first wife was not an accident. And that's all I want to know. I don't want to read anything else. I'm very excited to get into this one. This next one is really unlike me, and I can't believe that I bought it. But you have to remember that I bought it at a discounted price, and I would never pay full price for this. Anyway, I bought The Bromance Book Club by Lyssa Kay Adams. I don't like romance. We know this about me. I say it in almost every video. I'm not even sure how it comes up in every video because I'm never reading romance, but I don't like romance. But I just think that it's summer and I want something lighthearted and to get me through laying out in the sun all afternoon, and something quick and easy, and I think that this will do that job. This is basically about this book club of husbands that read romance and try to learn from it to improve their marriages or their relationships. And that's all I know about it. Another common theme in this video is that I don't know a lot about any of the books that I buy. I just read like the tagline and then I'm either sold or I'm not. And this one sold me for that easy, quick, summer fun read. So that is why this is here. This next one is absolutely huge. It's giant. I did not know that it was like 700 pages long. But here we are with Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. This is a literary horror thriller-ish book. This little boy and his mom move to this small town, and the little boy goes missing in the woods, and he returns, and he is not the same. I think he sort of gets some maybe supernatural abilities that no one really understands, and it just goes on from there. I don't understand why it's 700 pages, and I sort of wish that I knew that before buying it. I don't know if it would have actually changed my mind, but I don't know. I was just assuming it to, be a regular length. So this is going to take me a while. Maybe I'll do a reading vlog solely on this book because it's going to take me forever. But I love like literary horror that makes you uncomfortable. So I think this is going to be a hit with me, or at least I hope it is. Only 2 left, then we're done. The first one is Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. This is a YA, literary, speculative fiction, surrealism, fantasy type story where this road appears once a year and people who go down it usually don't come back. This girl decides to go in and see if she can find her sister who went down the road a while ago and never came back. And the road is almost like a game. At least that's what I've heard. I'm really trying to get more into fantasy because I feel like I'm just missing out by not reading a lot of it. So I've been sort of picky in choosing some fantasy books for myself the past couple months that I think I might like, that have potential for me. And I think this one is equally as promising as the others that I've talked about in here. I'm really hoping that I find, a new genre to love. So I'll let you know when I do something with this. Okay, this video is going downhill. My voice is going downhill. That's all I know. The last one I have to talk about is Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. And I would just like to talk about the cover for a minute. Watch. That is gorgeous. Am I right? I know. I'm not going to put the cover back on because that would be loud and take a long time. So we're not going to do that. What is this about? Good question. Let me read the synopsis. Okay, so basically, I think this is just a young adult romance, or maybe an adult romance, I'm not really sure, about these 2 college-age students. One of them is really having a hard time. He's broke and doesn't have a good job and doesn't know what he's doing with his life. And the other one is a famous social media influencer, and she has just got everything she wants in life. And of course, they have a chance encounter and fall in love, I think. I will be completely honest. I don't know how interested I actually am in the story, although I am hopeful that I will love it. but I bought this book for the cover. It was $3, so like if I don't love it, it's okay. But it's just beautiful and gorgeous. And that is it. I know that this haul was long, and I got sort of off topic and didn't know what I was saying at the end because I usually don't film videos this long, and I don't like to know a lot about books before I start reading them, so I couldn't really even tell you what most of them were about, and for that I'm sorry. But thanks for hanging out and just looking at my new books with me. I definitely have plans to make videos with a couple of these that sort of fit in the same genre or theme in the next couple weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye!